Hello, people of the internet. Hope y'all are well. Y'all, get some Texas drawl in there. See if I can get by here, not get run over. Nice R1. Grom is better. I've had one. My 09 R1 was pretty sweet. Oh, balls. Okay, so I have been tagged in the challenge of do a vlog about some information and tag somebody else in it. Don't have fifth gear. So I just got out of work. I've got my little post-it note. I'm about to go pick up dinner. Somebody needs to change their brakes. So, 10 questions I have to answer. And then whoever I tag has to answer those same questions. The post-it's gonna be nice. I'm gonna go the slow way just because I'm doing a vlog. Okay, so question number 1. When did you start motorcycling? I'm currently, yes, I'm a woman, I'm gonna tell you my age. I'm currently 28. I started motorcycling probably 22, something like that. 22, 23. First time I ever rode a motorcycle. First time I ever rode a motorcycle was an off-road motorcycle. It was a dirt bike, a TTR 225. I actually had ridden quads, like sport quads before that, but if you're counting just motorcycles, my first one was at a dirt bike or a motocross track. Had my quad there, a YFZ 450, and somebody offered me to let me ride their dirt bike, and I was like, man, I don't want to ride a bike. I was like, I'll try it. Well, I could barely turn. I almost drove off the track. It was great. So that brings me to the why I started motorcycling. Well, when I first started street biking, like actually, yeah, I rode that dirt bike on the motocross track. I was like, oh, this is interesting. But when I actually decided to get a bike, I wanted to get a sport bike, of course, because they're sexy as hell. And I wanted it because it was fast and awesome. I had always been into drifting and like autocross and car racing and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, for the price, a motorcycle's pretty damn good. So for the speed and, you know, the fun and everything, and some other people were talking about how awesome motorcycles were, so I'm like, you know what, I want to try this. So my boyfriend at the time, we had a huge fight. He didn't want me doing that. He was like, I don't want to be with somebody who wants to ride a motorcycle. I was like, too bad. Ended up, we both got into motorcycles, and rest is history from there. So when, probably 6 years ago, 22, 23. Why? Because it's awesome, and they're fast, and they're sexy. And I just really wanted to feel the feeling. I'm an adrenaline junkie, and I really, I love all kinds of motorsports. So past bikes, man, that's gonna be a long vlog. I think I made a post about it a long time ago on my blog. I've owned, I think, I was thinking about it the other day, 10 bikes. First bike, CBR 600. Second bike, it was an F3. Second bike, CBR 929. Awesome bike, love it. Kind of wish I still had one. Almost bought one again. Third bike, 2005 R1. Awesome bike, still wish I had that. I sold it because I thought I was gonna have, well, I was gonna have back surgery, and I thought I would never be able to ride a sport bike again. I was wrong. I sold it. I shouldn't have sold it. I loved that bike. It was a great bike. It was a Raven. Okay, so I had my back surgery, sold my sport bike. Wanted to get into motorcycles again, so I got an Aprilia SXV 550. I thought, hey, supermoto, upright, more comfortable. Well, for where I live, supermoto not so bueno. Mostly highways, and the thing had really bad head shake. You had to take the engine out to adjust the valves, which I did, and I made an awesome little video for all the Aprilia owners. So it was a fun bike, super hooligan bike, but it was an Aprilia. It had problems. Very sexy though. Aprilia, what came after that? I went into a weird phase after the Aprilia. I think I got an SV650 and one of the old ones, the S model. It was kind of dopey, but really awesome riding bike. Just kind of, I don't know, weird. Sold it, got an RC51. RC51, badass motherfucking motorcycle. Sorry for those that, sorry for the bad language. Anyway, moving on. RCs are badass. had one of those, but ultimately I thought it was a little heavy. Now after this, I can't remember what I got. I think I sold the RC, and then the next bike I got was actually a 2009 R1, the Crossplane. Another super awesome motorcycle. Sounded insane. I had a straight pipe on it, too custom. It was a slash cut, what do you call it, megaphone. Really cool. Sounded awesome. Enjoyed the hell out of it. It was a wrecked bike. I bought it for like $6,700 like a couple years ago, and kind of rebuilt it. It was half rebuilt when I got it, but the forks were all fucked up and some other stuff. But anyway, ended up not riding it much, so I was like, why do I own this? So exit motorcycles again. Stopped riding for a while, and then got really into drifting, got my GTO, but then I was like, damn it, I really want a motorcycle. So I got a no-VIN. It actually was a no-VIN bike that from the factory after it was crashed. It was a no-VIN frame. It didn't come from the factory with no VIN, but somebody rebuilt it. It was a CBR. It was 2007, I believe, Honda CBR 600, and it was awesome. I went to the track once, I crashed it, and I rebuilt it. I had intentions to ride it again. I just never got time to go to the track, and since it wasn't a street legal bike, it never could have been street legal because it had no VIN. I traded it for another RC51 because, like I said, RCs are awesome. Continuing later, going to get dinner. Okay, recording again. So where did I leave off? Left off at got Chipotle. Left off at my second RC. Traded my no-VIN CBR 600 track bike for it. Got it street legal again. Rode it for a while, and then I got the bug. I finally bought my dream bike at the time, a BMW S1000, and it was awesome. It was very exciting to own my dream bike, and I'm glad that I did it. But once again, I had an RC and the S1000, and I didn't really ride either of them. I was really busy with work at the time, and, you know, life stuff, had some problems, depression, stuff like that, and I was like, man, I don't get time to ride these ever, so I'm just gonna sell it. So I sold both my RC and my BMW S1000, and I don't know, I paid off some bills and health stuff, and then I got real big into drifting again, my GTO, had fun with that, and then I got bitten by the motorcycle bug again, and I ended up getting, oh, that's a big hole. I ended up getting this Grom, and I got the Grom, and the Grom made me want to get other bikes, a big bike, so I bought, and this is a 2015 Grom, by the way, not that they really changed at all, and it was the first motorcycle I ever bought new. And then I bought a 2014 Holdback Duke 6.9 KTM. It was an awesome bike, did a ton of mods to it, cam, airbox, all kinds of good stuff. And I really enjoyed it. I rode it all the time for the couple months that I owned it, but I was like, it doesn't quite have enough power for my my tastes, and I want to put the money into jet skis. So that was a more recent thing. I sold my Duke and I bought an aftermarket jet ski hull, and I'm still in the process of getting that hull. I'm in the process of selling another jet ski to afford the engine, which is going to be a 2-stroke 967cc twin cylinder. It's gonna be freaking awesome. I want to do backflips. So anyway, and you can see which motorcycle I like the most. Still have the Grom. Awesome bike, love it. Okay, so past bikes. Sorry about that was long. You can skip over that, or if you skipped over that. On to the next question. Dream bike. Man, my current dream bike, probably a KTM Super Duke, or a new BMW, or the Ducati Panigale. Really, I don't have a dream bike at the moment just because I'm not super into motorcycles right now. The Grom is exactly what I need, and once there's going to be a new track around me, I'm going to go track ride it. So, but I'd have to say, if I had all the money in the world, one of those 3 bikes would probably be my choice. Probably the Super Duke, just because it's so balls out awesome. So, dream bike. Next question. Off-road or street? Both. I don't ride off-road anymore. I've had a ton of dirt bikes. I didn't list any of those because, well, I've had a ton of them. I don't really do off-road anymore. I've had too many surgeries and it hurt too much. So I don't really off-road anymore, but so street, pretty much strictly street and water now. So you can call jet skis, a friend of mine called them motorcycles. So I think that counts. So I do street and water. Only have my Grom now, just sold my Duke probably about a month ago. Oh, still no 5th gear. So, next question, crash. Mentioned it a little bit earlier. Yes, I have crashed. This guy's spraying me with shit. Yes, I have crashed. I've crashed twice on the street. Many times on a dirt bike, so that doesn't count. And many times on a jet ski, so that doesn't count either. So first crash I had was at the Dragon, probably about 25-30 miles an hour. I guess I was just, I don't know. I don't even know if it was target fixation. I just was getting tired and lazy. I was on my first RC. I was going into a corner. It was a switchback, and I ended up just literally driving off the road into the mountainside. I was wearing leathers. I'm all about gear. So I was wearing leathers at the time. No damage to me other than bruises and the bruised ego. And the bike, of course, because the RC is a V-twin, one of the radiators on the side got damaged in the fairings, but the fairings were already damaged. It was a pretty ratty bike. So yeah, that was my first crash. Second crash, the one I mentioned earlier, was the crash on the track. My speedometer didn't work on the CBR, so I really have no idea how fast I was going, but the people in front of me were going fairly fast. So I'd say anywhere from like probably 60 to 80. It's kind of hard to tell because, once again, GoPros and stuff, they really skew how fast you're actually going if you're just trying to view, you know, by video speed or whatever. That was on the track, so of course I was wearing my leathers. I bruised my arm because they're leathers for men, and they fit a little loose. So when my arm slammed on the ground, I hit the pad in the arm, and that bruised me. But other than that, I'll link the video because I don't know, it's pretty funny. You can see me just kind of going at it, and then all of a sudden, boom! The front tire slides out from under me. The bike didn't tell me anything. My guess is just cold tires. They're more of a track tire. I didn't have warmers on them. I figured they'd be warm enough by then, but I guess they weren't. And it could have been dust on the road or the track too. I was pretty far on the inside. So I slid my ass off the track and went and tried to pick up my broken bike, but it was awesome. It's a Honda, and it started right up, which was super sweet. And I kind of had a laugh about it. I learned a lot repairing it, did some fairing work and stuff like that, and made for some good videos. So yeah, you know, whatever, I was fine. The bike ended up being fine, and it was a learning experience, so that's good. Crashes. Next question. When and why did you start vlogging? Probably about a year and a half ago. I started vlogging when I got my BMW, or started riding my BMW S1000 more. I have a major in video editing and documentary, photography, stuff like that. And it's really in my blood. I love to document stuff. And because I live in a city where traffic's pretty terrible, I thought it would be good to document, you know, if somebody ran into me or I ran into them or something like that, or catch my crashes. So I strapped the camera to my helmet and then put a microphone to it, and I started talking. And motovlogging's really screwed me up because now I talk to myself, because obviously you guys all know you're sitting inside your helmet and you're talking to yourself, but really you're talking to people online, but you're talking to yourself. So I get used to it, and at work I'm talking to myself all the time, and people make fun of me, and I'm like, what? I'm the best conversationalist there is. So they just think I'm crazy, but you guys know how it is. So that's why I started vlogging, just really to document and I've had my YouTube channel for a really long time, and I enjoy shooting and editing video, and I needed something more in my life at that time, so that's what I did. YouTube channels I subscribe to, man, I've got a ton of them. There's so many on the left side of my screen. I don't really have a lot of time to watch motovlogs, but I'd say the big names that I subscribe to would be, well, probably the first motovlogger I ever subscribed to was BVG, Baron Von Grumble. I thought his stuff was really funny. I like his humor. I love cynicism. So I enjoy BVG's vlogs. 6-foot Honda, he's okay. I kind of got bored because I'm not a big one for hooliganism. That stuff's really sensationalized, and I like not necessarily serious stuff, but not people doing dumb shit. Sorry, I got like really dry throat all of a sudden. Who else? Cherry Blossoms. A bunch of you guys on the motovlog forums. Sometimes I don't know how to say your names, so I'm not gonna butcher it. So I'm subscribed to a ton. I generally stick to people that are fun but aren't stupid and have pretty good production value, because I guess, I don't know, I don't want to be snotty, but because I have a major in that shit, I don't know, just watching stuff that sucks and like visually, I know my stuff sucks because I get lazy, so I'm totally being hypocritical right now, but I don't know, if I'm gonna watch something, it's gonna be good. So yeah, lots of subscriptions to other motovloggers. Don't necessarily have a lot of time. I'm more of a lurker. I don't comment so much. One of the ones I do comment on a lot is oh, what's his name? He doesn't even really vlog. I think that's how you say his name. So I really enjoy his stuff because it's so beautiful, and he does a really good job on his videos, and his humor is really funny when he does talk, so good to you. Okay, so finishing up, bike name. Well, since I only have one bike, I've had all kinds. I usually name my bikes funny things. I had a dirt bike that started pissing out of the water pump leaking hole, and so I called it Sprinkler. And I had a 2-stroke that was really stinky, so its name was Stinky. So I kind of have like humorous names. I think my RC51 was the Thunder Pig, and so the Grom doesn't really have a name necessarily. I do call it the Grome, just because a lot of the like my fiance's father and a bunch of, like, I guess older, like, people that were born in like the 60s, 50s and 60s, they call the Groms Gromes for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but they do, and I think that's really funny because there's no E on the end. So its kind of nickname is the Grome. I'm gonna go ride the Grome. Not necessarily a name, but a nickname, whatever. And tagging. I will tag a few people in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the vlog. Kind of tired after today's work, so we'll see how this goes in editing. It may just be rambling on and on and on. I'll try to make it short, quick, and fun. Good luck to the people I tag.